This is a unit combining things from chapters 2 and 3 to have some very basic type questions, but where you get a little bit of chance to practice reading and then figuring out how to respond to the question. For example, in number 1, I have que estudias. Estudias is your clue there. See that AS on the end? That means that's the to form of the verb estudiar, to study. And the question then is, what are you studying, or what you study? And so the answer would be, I study, and then whatever your classes you're taking. So you would have the yo form of the verb estudiar. You have the to form here, and you need to respond with the I form of the verb. Let's look at number 2. ¿Qué tienes cuando la temperatura es menos cero? Okay. What do you have? There's the verb tener. Let's move to chapter 3. When the temperature is below 0. Menos can mean minus or below. So what do you have when the temperature is below 0? All right. That's one of the phrases from chapter 3. The phrase that means to be cold. The literal phrase in Spanish is to have coldness. So when the temperature is below 0, you want to say, I have coldness. And so that's the answer in Spanish you need to put here. You need to figure out what that is. Let's go to number 3. When Javier goes, there's a verb that's new to us. That's the verb to go. We just learned in chapter 3. When Javier goes to the cafeteria, what he has. What's he have? Well, if he goes to the cafeteria, the thing that he has is hunger. So you want to say, he has hunger. That's one of the phrases we just learned in chapter 3. To have hunger. Alright, let's look at number 4. What do you have when you need to arrive on time? Okay. I need to arrive on time. I have hurriedness. So you want the yo form of the verb tener. And you need the one that means to be in a hurry, or to have hurriedness. The phrase a tiempo means on time. Let's go to number 5. When y'all see, this is a verb ver that means to see. When y'all see a movie of horror, what do you have? Okay. Well, when you see a horror movie, what do you have? We have fear. So that's the phrase. I need the we version of tener, and I need the word for fear for my answer. Okay, in question 6, I have the verb vivir, to live. I have the to form of the verb, and if I didn't recognize it, there's my to as my clue. And remember, when you have something in the form of a question, often the subject comes after the verb, as it does here. There is my subject, and it's right after the verb vives. Okay, that's the to form. Where do you live? I want to say I live, so I need the yo form of vivir and an in, the word in, it means in, and then a place. So I live in Little Rock, or I live in Benton, or wherever you live. Look at number 7. Lees to el libro. Again, there's my verb, and there's the subject. So this is the to form of the verb L-E-E-R, leer, that means to read. Do you read the book? So I want you to say, yes, I read the book, or no, I do not read the book. If you don't read the book, you probably need to take this class again, but if you want to say, I don't read the book, you would have one no, and then a second no, and the second no needs to come right before the yo form of the verb. Number 8. Aprende Susana idiomas. Learns Susan languages. Or is Susan learning languages? There's my subject. Okay, so I want to say, yes, Susan is learning languages, or no, Susan is not learning languages. Notice that when I ask a question number 7 to you, you answer with the I form of the verb. But if I ask you about Susan, someone else other than you, whoever that might be, Susan in this case, you're going to use the same verb in your answer that's in the question. So, yes, Susan learns languages, or no, Susan does not learn languages. Again, if you want to say she doesn't, you have 2 no's. The first one, the no at the beginning, and the second one is the not. And the second one has to come right before aprende, in this case, right before the conjugated verb. Number 9. Asiste ella a la clase. It seems like we're still talking about Susan from the previous question. Does she attend the class? And since, again, I'm asking about someone else, your answer would use the same verb form as is in the question. Yes, she attends class, or no, she does not attend class. And again, if you're saying she doesn't, you have to put the second no right before asiste in your answer. Number 10. Cuando tienes clases? All right. There's the form of the verb tener, but in this case it's not asking about one of those phrases, tener hambre or tener sed. It's asking, when do you have classes? So you're going to respond with, I have classes, and then maybe a time. Tengo clases por la mañana, maybe. Or maybe tengo clases los lunes, miércoles y viernes. Or some other phrase that is a correct answer to the when do you have classes question. The last 5 questions here all relate to the phrases that you learned in chapter 3. They go with tener. Let's look at the phrases and work through the clues that are in the questions as to which phrase you use. What do you have when you need to drink water? Drink water. That has to do with being thirsty. So the answer is, I have thirst. Okay, so that's what you want to say. Let's look at number 12. What do you have muy tarde, that's very late, at the night? Very late at night, I have sleepiness. That's what you want to say. I have sleepiness. Number 13. All right, when we did the verb hacer, we said that you have phrases like hace calor, that means it makes either it's hot, or hace frio in number 14, it means it makes cold or it's cold. So what do you have when it's hot? I have heat. So you have, I have, and the word for heat. And number 14, the same thing. What do you have when it makes cold? Our coldness. I have coldness. So you want your go form of tener, and then this word right here. I have coldness. And then number 15, what do you have when there is much traffic? Okay, road rage is not the right answer here. What we want to say is, when there is much traffic, I have carefulness. That's what we're looking for. So you want the answer to be, I have carefulness. And here is a hint. When you see the little signs that they put out on the floor when they mop the floor, one side says, caution, wet floor. The other side might say at least, cuidado, piso mojado. All right? Cuidado is a word for carefulness. And that's what you have when there's much traffic. You want to say, I have cuidado, I have carefulness. Okay. And so that's the end of our 15 questions that are a review of the phrases in chapter 3 plus some of the regular verbs from chapter 2.